Okay, thank you and welcome to everybody to the Meeting of the Minds. This is hosted by Locals Supporting Locals, the heartbeat of the Okanagan. If you're not familiar with who we are, we're the ones who publish the Locals Supporting Local calendars. This is our 4th edition calendar here. We started off. This was our initial calendar. Now the thing with our calendars that make them very unique is they're full of information in here. I didn't start Locals Supporting Locals like I often tell people. If you think these are advertising calendars or they're only advertising calendars, you clearly didn't read them. So like in here you could see we got Spotted Lake, Medicinal Healing Lake. Then we get down to Find the truth, be the change here. So for example here, we're seeing corporatization, which is globalization, which at the end of the day is fascism taking place before us. And on here we show you how 10 different companies own all these other companies. And it's continuing more and more. And this is really affecting our small businesses here, especially ones like the Wild Scallion that's been gracious enough to let us host this event in here. So a big thank you to Alan, the Wild Scallion. They are located at 75 Front Street. Go ahead, feel free to clap. And they carry a lot of organic and local produce, and their menus are mostly full of that. You'll also find them on the front page of the calendar. And so this was the perfect spot, I figured, to host this here. So the other thing I put down on here is alternative media. Now we're seeing a lot of this, what they call fake news, and coincidentally where that's coming out of just happens to be the mainstream media. So I just want to ask if I can get with a show of hands here. How many people trust mainstream media? Do you trust mainstream media? Okay. Okay, so we had one. Okay. How many people trust your government, your federal government? Okay, I don't see any hands. How many people trust their provincial government? Yeah, okay, so there you go. So we got no hands here. So the one thing we've always promoted with Locals Supporting Locals, and in order to make this change, the only chance we got because of the corporatization here is to take it back locally and take back local government. That is strictly our only chance. We are still fortunate that there are still some good people out there that are running as independents in some of these provincial and federal elections, and we actually do have Brian Season here this evening that's going to be speaking. He's going to be part of our talk show, our first Heartbeat of the Okanagan talk show. And so he's running as an independent, so he's not part of the party politics system. And that's one thing that with Locals Supporting Locals we absolutely do not support, is any party politics and the towing of the party line. Because no matter how much you want to represent your constituents, you cannot do that. And this also in this calendar here, which is very important here, we have glyphosate. Okay, glyphosate is an ingredient in Roundup. Okay, that's what kills everything. It's a poison, and this ingredient is being found in all these foods here. And Cheerios is actually #1 on the list. And how many people here probably have a box of Cheerios? Maybe not many here, because you guys have woken up to a lot of that. But sadly, a lot of people do. And so, just so folks know, and hopefully we can get them on our next calendar, because we're starting our 5th calendar very shortly, is Nature's Path is a BC company, and it's an organic cereal company. And a lot of it's gluten-free as well, but they are glyphosate-free. So you can pick that up if you're in Penticton here at the Whole Foods Market. Every Wednesday at the Whole Foods Market. It's 20% off, so you'd be surprised. You got to do your price checking again, folks. Not everything is cheap at Walmart, not like you like to believe. And so more importantly, we like to talk about solutions, because if you bring awareness and you're not bringing solutions, you're just bitching. So fortunately, Ryan Foster, who ran for city council at the last elections here, he started Food Forest Penticton, and he's actually with us this evening, and he's going to be doing he's going to be discussing Food Forest. We were hoping to do a presentation, but things didn't work out that way. But so we're going to skim on that, but we're going to be doing in the future workshops. So one of them will be a Food Forest workshop. So we'll be able to see Ryan again here. Also, we got Dylan's Meeting that's going to be speaking as well with Being Wellness, and his presentation and how it links so importantly to what we're discussing and why we're hosting the Meeting of the Minds here. The brain in your gut. People don't understand how important the food is and how that affects you at the end of your day. So when people just write it off, you know, it's okay, it's only McDonald's or GMOs, it doesn't matter, come on kids, you know, like they just truly don't understand what that means and why a lot of people today are sick, they're ill, they got brain fog, they can't think correctly, cancer, arthritis is a pandemic, never mind epidemic now. So a lot of that has to do with your food, and people need to get that through their head. So
nothing beats good old-fashioned organic.
Nothing beats good old-fashioned organic, yes. And what we're shooting for here is we'd like to see a natural Okanagan here. Let's go back to basics again here, and that's all going to take time. Maybe not so much organic initially because the standards that their governments have put in place now is absolutely ridiculous for a lot of farmers to adhere to. So we're going to focus on a natural Okanagan, and just to let folks know, like, we are forming a board for locals, supporting locals, and moving forward with that. And so far, what we picked, for a board, Ricardo Menenza over here. He's going to be vice president. He also started up the West Boundary chapter down in Rock Creek there, and so he's starting the first annual calendar down there as well. So if you're watching this video and you're in the West Boundary area, by all means, send us an email, go to our localsupportinglocal.com website or to our Facebook page, and you can contact Ricardo or myself to participate in the calendar. And so he's going to be our vice president. Also, Dylan's Meeting is going to be participating with our board, and our secretary is Katie MacArthur. And she's responsible for taking a lot of the minutes and putting together a lot of the things. She's basically the right hand for myself and locals supporting locals here. So we are looking for other secretaries as well. Plus we are looking for a treasurer. We need an accountant. So anybody willing to volunteer to help us out with that would be great. The way these calendars are designed, though, is to actually do business, just so folks know. In order to have organizations like this, or activists, or concerned organizations, a lot of times you can't get your funding, or you always got to do fundraisers in order to keep the organization going. So I designed these calendars for that purpose, to help do that. But I need help in order to make this happen and get to the next level here. And so anybody willing to participate, please do contact me. And all the information will be on the video here, so you can see the information here. Subscribe to our YouTube as well. And so I'm going to play a video here for you guys, so you understand why we're meeting here today, and what the meeting, why we created the Meeting of the Minds, and for the South Okanagan and the Okanagan area and West Boundary area here. So just going to turn the camera here. Okay, so just going to start the video. Go for it.
There's so much beauty going on the planet now. There's so many amazing freaking stories, so many amazing freaking people doing amazing things, right? There's so much beauty. Put your attention on that. Meaning, acknowledge the stuff that is going bad. 100%, right? Don't bury your head in the sand and say, that's not going on. No, it's going on. So become aware of it. But then there's so much beauty. Build on that. You know that the old bridge is crumbling, right? Well, create a new bridge beside it. And the old bridge is going to crumble by itself. The more that you're fragmenting your energy, pointing at the problem, especially in a fear-based way, you're part of the problem and you're not part of the solution.
You have much more power than you know. Not just through media. Media is big, but who you are is bigger. You will never tell a more powerful story than the one you will tell with your life. So my hope here is that we can have a conversation about who we are, because if we transform who we are, media transforms.
Many activists ask themselves that question when they look at their own organization and they see the same horizontal violence and the same power dynamics in their organization as they see in the larger society and the government.
Gandhi didn't say go and change the world. He says be the change you wish to see in the world. If you just do impact for the sake of impact, it's one thing. But if you do impact with the understanding that the inner also matters, it changes the way we create the impact in the world.
We need the changers out there, but we need the changers out there to come from a different space of being. We need wise change makers, wise, grounded, bigger picture, calm, love-based. I know it sounds fluffy, but when you're love-based, you're you integrate, you don't separate. You realize that it's about healing others, not running away from others.
There is a connection that I think we've been missing. We've crafted, again, our society based on this separation philosophy. Let's pit each other. I take care of me first, you take care of you, and we really have nothing to do with each other. And science is saying, Science is saying what the mystics have said, everything is connected. Your heart is beating and sending out an electromagnetic signal that is 10 to 15 feet from your body. And the emotions modulate that signal. So when you're in a loving state and you stand next to somebody and you say hello in a loving state, that has an effect. If you're in a negative state, which is breaking down your own physiology, that also has an effect. So it really speaks about the power of the individual. I know we look at the world and we go, oh my God, what can I do?
Step into your greatness. Because if you don't, you join the same fear world, but we need people in their power. This is the time where we have the opportunity for 1 million Martin Luther Kings to show up. It's not about destroying, it's about creating. Otherwise, we're a bunch of acorns going to war with each other, but if you put your acorn into the ground, you listen to what it wants to do and you do it, you become the tree, and a tree can become a forest.
This is a photo of Hurricane Katrina. This hurricane comes and everything is destroyed, except these oak trees have survived for thousands and thousands of years. Now, the reason why these oak trees survive is because their roots are connected to the roots of other oak trees. And sometimes these network of roots go as far as 100 miles.
You are interconnected in a way that cannot be defined in words. But once I've had that experience, beyond the intellect, right? Not as a nice fluffy story again that we're all one and all that shit. It's like I know it down in my heart, into every cell and fiber of my being. Then it's normal. The next level is like, if I'm so connected to everything and everyone around me, what's outpouring right now in this very moment is very important.
If you look at a movie like Back to the Future, you can see that one act, if you go back in time 20 years, if you give someone a kiss rather than a punch, you should change the whole future.
So these little decisions you make that you think aren't a big deal are the biggest deal. These things that feel lighter but we ignore are all part of the big picture, are all part of a sign towards what you're really here to do. When you do the thing that calls to you, no matter how small it seems, you will start to meet yourself more, and you will start to train yourself how to listen to the calling more than the old story. And the more you listen to the calling, the more it's going to guide you to an incredible amount of you impacting the world.
It's about changing, who you are from the inside. And the more of us do that, then what happens, we're going to make different types of choices. We're going to create different types of businesses. We're going to raise our children differently. They're going to become different citizens of the world. They're going to make different choices.
So instead of saying, I want to fix the world because it's broken, what if we then say, look, I'm part of the world. I want to serve it. I want to co-create with the world. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to walk through that one gateway here and now.
So what do you think of that there, folks? Does that resonate with you? Well, that's what resonates with me, So I realize that my role at the end of the day here is to be, I'm the networker. I'm the one that goes out and finds all the like-minded people, brings us all together. I'm also the one that puts together these calendars that helps me to create that network. We also go out there and we do our own media. So our goal is to Also promote what's going to be what goes on great here in our Okanagan. Our farmers markets are fantastic. It was rated #1 actually Penticton in BC. So we're going to be doing lots of different video footage. If you're part of a group, by all means contact us, and we want to come out and meet you, interview you, and share with everybody what you're doing. So you just got to find your role. Just find it. It's in your heart, and excel with that. You know. So like we also connect with Penticton Citizens First, which is a group that has taken on some of the legal roles that are going on in our community here. That we have other organizations, like he was saying, you know, you got to bring some awareness here, that sadly don't play by the rules. They got their pay-to-play club, you know, and if you're not part of that group, you don't get to play. And they seem to think they can break all the rules. So these people in this group of Penticton Citizens First are showing them that no, that doesn't work that way. There are rules to be followed, and it's for the best of the community as a whole, not for the small group here.